On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
raise your hands as AI overviews should be getting better thanks to the new Ray update.
The thumb stops here. Instagram is testing a new unskippable ad format.
And we're trying to stay Netflix and chill about video and connected TV ads being supported in Microsoft Ads Editor.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Friday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shep.
I'm Nicole Waddington.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on June 7th, 2024.
We have some exciting new news here this week as Google has put out a statement, and it is now called the Ray AIO update. Ray after Lily Ray, because she helped lead the charge. The industry. Mike King had kind of pushed this, but they are looking into updating some of their AI overview content that has come under fire here recently.
Wow, I really just try to avoid the SEO news and get surprised on the show. They named it after her?
Well, Mike King did. It's the unofficial name. Okay. Google is going to call it something like the early June 2024 AIO, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's the Ray update, the Ray AIO update.
She deserves it.
She does. She gets hated on for no reason at all.
She's been fighting the good fight.
I agree. Anyway, Google put out a statement in retaliation, I would say, from some of the news we talked about last week. And they said that user feedback shows that with AI overviews, people have higher satisfaction with their search results. And they're asking longer, more complex questions that they know Google can now help with.
Nobody's changing what they're typing into Google because of AI overviews.
And they know now what Google can help with? No, it's like, I thought that was your whole shtick before. It's like you're helping people organize the web and making it more accessible.
Yeah, that's just not true.
I agree. And then they went on to say they use AI overviews as a jumping off point to visit web content. And we see that the clicks to web pages are higher quality. People are more likely to stay on that page because we've done a better job of finding the right info and helpful web pages for them. Again, wholeheartedly disagree with this statement. People may be staying on that page longer because they're looking for the information somewhere in there. They see a note and they're like, oh, I need to try to find this. And maybe they're staying on the page longer because it's not even on that page because it chose the wrong card in the AI overviews. That's a whole different topic though. And my thought is like, they're saying, oh, feedback shows this. Did they only ask Googlers? Like, I feel like they only ask people on the AI overview team.
Seriously. Like, I haven't heard anyone be like, this is great. Not one person outside of Google.
I get so frustrated using it because it's like, I'm looking for a resource and you're not giving this to me. And it's so frustrating. You're doing the opposite of what Google used to do. You're just trying to answer something. But I know your answers. Like, I've seen put glue on pizza and stuff like that, and I kind of just want to be able to find where you get it from. Mm-hmm. Okay, then they went on to talk about some of the challenges as to why people were seeing such bad results. And they said, while AI overviews are powered by a customized language model, the model is integrated with our core web ranking systems and designed to carry out traditional search tasks like identifying relevant, high-quality results for our index, which doesn't go hand in hand with some of those stupid answers, with the exception of a lot of those answers probably came from Reddit, and Reddit is all over Google. They said that this means AI overviews generally don't hallucinate or make things up in the ways that other LLMs might. When AI overviews get it wrong, it's usually for other reasons, of course. I added the of course. And they said misinterpreting queries, misinterpreting a nuance of language on the web, or not having a lot of great information available. And then they said
So it's our fault.
Yeah, it's our fault. It's all our fault. AI overviews are perfect.
But if there's not the right information, then don't give it. Like, skip the AI overview. They should be able to know that.
We're going to get to that a little bit later in the lightning round because they are absolutely doing that now. Furthermore, they said, looking at some of the examples that everybody's laughing about in the past couple of weeks, they're able to determine patterns where he didn't get it right. So they built better detection for nonsensical queries that shouldn't show an AI overview and limited the inclusion of satire and humor content.
Okay.
They are updating the systems to limit the use of UGC content and responses that could offer misleading advice. They're adding triggering restrictions for queries where AI overviews were not proving to be as helpful. And then for topics like news and health, they already have strong guardrails in place. Drink urine. And for example, we aim to not show AI overviews for hard news topics where freshness and factuality are important. In the case of health, we have additional refinements to enhance quality. All right, like, I think the moral of the story is these things came out of the box. Like we said, I didn't think they were going to launch like that. Talked about it for a long time. It came out and sucked. Mm-hmm. And they're like, hey, this sucked. They could have just asked me ahead of time, and I would have been like, this sucks. Don't launch it. You know? But they launch it anyway, and we're actually seeing, again, stick around for the lightning round. We're seeing a lot less of them now.
Yeah, I've noticed.
As it's being refined. AI overviews not going away, here to stay, and according to Google, higher satisfaction with those AI overviews, although I've never met one single person that likes those. What do you have up, Shep?
Before we get to more news here, I want to thank Wix for sponsoring this week's episode, and specifically the Wix SEO Learning Hub, which you do not need to even be a paying user of Wix to access these amazing resources. This is something that if you are listening to this show, if you care about digital marketing, have this bookmarked. Find a way to get notified every time they put something up here, because they have so many incredible resources for SEOs and beyond. They have webinars. They have the podcast SERPs Up. They have the new web show, It's New, that's every day with Greg and Barry and the team, and it's going over the news from the week. And then they have templates. This is a backlink checker. All these amazing resources from both the Wix team, so Morty and Crystal and George on the team, and then they also have other SEOs from the community. So again, this is something that you should definitely be checking in every week, see what new resources they have up. We have been loving the Wix SEO Learning Hub, and you will too. So check it out at wix.com/SEO/learn. More news here. Instagram has confirmed that they are testing unskippable ads. This was first spotted, for me at least, by Dan Levy at the Dan Levy on X. He said, holy moly, Meta seemingly is now forcing us to watch ads in our feeds on Instagram. The app legit stopped me from scrolling past this ad, which is just a bonkers move to me, which I just am dying to like see this in person. I feel like that would be so shocking to be like scrolling through
and you just get
your
stuck.
feed and you're just stuck. Yeah.
I would be so mad.
Yeah.
I would love to see like heat mapping software about how mad people
many people just leave I would just get right out. I'm like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. I would exit out of the app.
That's what people are saying. Like, they're going to quit the app. They're going to quit Instagram. Like, they're packing their bags. I don't know.
I'm not taking 5 seconds for an ad break. Like, if you want to have a good ad, good. Target me with a good ad. Make a good ad. I'll watch it.
Yeah. But give me the choice. So they did confirm these new ad breaks will display a countdown timer that stops users from being able to browse through more content on the app until they view the ad. Yeah, people are going to close the app, I think, is my guess. And this test will not continue, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's worth noting that they have only shown these to users so far, like in the screenshots that we're seeing on social media. They're from people who are watching videos, assuming Reels there.
Okay, so it's like a Reels.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet in static posts, which I
That
feel like
might
is a
make more
little
sense.
better.
Yeah. Although that post you had in the example looked like a static post because you don't have the full screen Reels, right?
But this is a video because it has volume. The volume's turned off. So just a different type of
Right,
video.
but when you're like searching or you're swiping through Reels, you typically don't see like that white description, right? I think it's like typically the description's like you have to, I have fat fingers and you have to go like click very specifically to get there.
Yeah, this quote from TechCrunch says the screenshots, however, show the ad breaks appearing in the app's feed while watching video posts. So I guess not Reels, video posts.
Okay, so you're watching a 10-minute video and halfway through there's an ad you can't skip.
Yes, I don't know how long the video
Well, that
is.
would make sense. If you can't like keep going on the feed, that would be tough. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to see how it looks.
Yeah,
but.
let us know if you see him out there, but definitely crazy.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners. And is really, really cool.
Are you looking for a sign to write better headlines? Well, this is it. Headline Studio by CoSchedule enables you to create headlines that drives maximum traffic, clicks, and SEO. So all you have to do is download this Chrome extension, click the Headline Studio button on any website where you want to analyze a headline, like your WordPress blog post, and the Headline Studio extension will open directly in your browser, letting you write and analyze your headlines side by side. As always, we'll have the link in our newsletter as well as on Discord, newsletter and community.marketingoclock.com, respectively. So pick your poison and check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Andrew Block by way of Thomas Essel. And Andrew got a notification in his Google Ads account, and it says, your campaign is limited by budget, all bolded there, preventing your ads from showing as often as they could. Get an estimated 0 more weekly conversions by increasing your budget to £630. And Thomas says,
Why wouldn't you say yes?
Thomas says, sounds like a good investment plan to me.
Seriously. I also love how they pick and choose when they're doing like the budget or the limited by target recommendations, how sometimes they'll tell you what it'll do to impressions. Sometimes they'll tell you what it'll do to conversions. Like, why wouldn't they keep it standard or allow you to toggle through to see different things?
Right. And then I think Mike Ryan had covered it before, but a lot of those charts that they will show are very misleading, where it's like, look, it looks like traffic is going up and they're not showing conversions along with it. So when you are looking at those recommendations, don't just blindly take what they say. Look and make sure that the juice is worth the squeeze, as they say.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, Anthony Higman got an interesting email, and he is sharing it with the class on X. Follow at Anthony Higman to follow along. He said, this says important updates regarding restricted data processing control and universal opt-out mechanisms. It's a beautiful subject line. So over the course of 2024, this is another ICYMI. We've talked about it recently. Florida, Texas, Oregon, Montana, and Colorado all have privacy law provisions coming into effect. And as a result of these changes, advertisers may view less personalized ads inventory for bidding, resulting in changing targeting efficiency. Users who have opted out of ad targeting via global privacy controls Google will likely disable personalized ad serving based on customer match, audiences API, and floodlight remarketing lists may see what they call degraded functionality. So Anthony says, so as I've been saying this for a minute, but what happens when data loss from privacy legislation meets full-on automated everything in Google Ads? It stops working. This is why good old manual everything approach wins the game. So ready for this. That is like a very interesting thought, that they're trying to push us more and more towards automation when all this tracking stuff is going away. How could it work?
I mean, it's going to be more on the targeting side of things. You still should have like conversions and everything tracking, but yeah, I mean, if you opt out, you're out.
Yeah. So as you're testing those automated strategies, just make sure you're keeping your tried and true search campaigns live. Don't give up on them yet. Next up, spotted by Thomas Essel, there's a new Meta and Google Analytics 4 integration, which is very interesting. Meta says the configuration will take 5 to 10 minutes to set up, and it would seemingly make it a lot easier. But Greg, you said that the original post was taken down?
Yes, there was an original post where this was discovered, and it has since been removed. So Thomas has the receipts, obviously, as you can see up on screen or saw up on screen. And Tika Speicherman had found it initially, and then that post was removed. So maybe it was like a beta or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was spotted in the wild, and that looks very legit.
And I saw people in the comments saying that they saw it in their accounts. This is kind of crazy. Like, I never thought anything like this would happen.
I know, like ad platforms playing nice together
Yeah.
with tracking. It's wild.
Like, how is it going to work with DDA?
Well, that's my conspiracy
good
thought.
are
Is
they-
like, hey, if we can get like full integration, then when we do DDA, we can take Meta effectiveness and knock it down.
Yeah. So then why would Meta agree?
Because they don't think like that. They think Google's a good company.
How could they not know? I mean, they're all bad. Like, how could they not know?
I don't know.
Just keep an eye out. That would be cool. Also from Thomas Assel, he says update on his Meta demand gen lookalike strategy. So Thomas kind of invented the like Meta and Google marriage. He did it first before GA4. So you may have heard that they announced at Google Marketing Live lookalike audiences, which are only available for demand gen. They used to have a seed audience minimum of 1,000 users, and they lowered it to 100. So it's going to be much more accessible to smaller advertisers. And his little strategy here, which I think is a really interesting idea, is he will run a Meta lead gen campaign and then download the list of first-party data from Meta, upload that into a customer match list in Google, and then use that to create a lookalike audience for demand gen.
Whoa.
Yeah. Galaxy brain.
Fancy. Also, isn't it wild that you can make a lookalike audience and only use it for one campaign type in Google
Yeah.
Ads? Why wouldn't you say, hey, we made something that's really cool. You can use it for all your different campaign types.
And how is it different from the similar audiences we had before that went away?
Well, this is using customer match data. So
Okay.
it's first party data instead of using like what Google Ads has on a customer profile based off of clicks and things like that. So this is your own data.
I felt like it was kind of quietly released. Like I didn't know about it until I stumbled upon it in my account. Maybe I was on maternity leave. I don't know.
We also don't use a ton. I mean,
Right.
some demand gen is working better. We have some, we're just using it for like remarketing lookalikes and things
Yeah.
like that. And it can work, but it's still kind of tough.
But I would just think if they made a big announcement about lookalike audiences, it would have been like main news on the show.
It was.
Okay.
It was,
I
it
was
was with
probably
the
on.
launch of demand gen.
Okay.
So demand gen kind of overshadowed it.
Well, it was new to me. I don't know why it's not available to everyone. Probably because they want people to use demand gen and we all hate it. But now more people have access. Next up, PPC Greg spotted an update to one of the Google Ads recommendations that he sees a lot in the platform. So it used to say add images to your campaigns now says use Google generated images.
I also got to say, I don't hate demand gen that much. It doesn't work a ton.
I do a lot of B2B, so it's like,
yeah.
but I have Google reps trying to tell me it's going to work for B2B. Like
They're wrong.
it's not like,
I mean, I think the thing that I dislike is how PMax runs across search, shopping, display, YouTube, everything basically. And with them, and it'll eat up any like display remarketing campaigns. Typically they'll be less effective. But demand gen doesn't touch display, it doesn't touch search, it doesn't touch shopping. So
Yeah.
to me, it's like there is a place for it. It's just not what they market it as, but it is a
Right.
way to be like, hey, I'm trying to get some of that PMax reach in YouTube and Google owned and operated, but not F with my display or not mess with my search and not mess with my shopping. You can still kind of have control, look at impression share and stuff like that. So you can almost like conjure up your own PMax from a placement standpoint with demand gen, display, search, and
Yeah.
shopping.
and I just think of it as more of a video
Yeah.
thing. Like if you don't have good video assets, there's no point.
Yeah, no point.
And who uses Discover? Nobody.
Not me
You were
anymore.
the only one,
I had
and
it-
now you're off.
I'm telling you, if you have an Android device, you probably have seen Discover or used Discover.
I want to use Discover. Like I'll talk to clients about demand gen, and I'll be like, "Oh, I'll get you a screenshot of something." Then there's nothing in there. Like
You don't have anything.
I don't believe in Discover.
Do you have your phone up?
No, so it's the Google app. Like I use Chrome browser.
I know. I don't use the Google app. I try
I
not
have
to
the Google
as
app,
much as
though.
possible. Okay, so let's see what's on your.
Maybe I deleted it. Oh no, I didn't.
Let's see what's on your Discover and mine. I got some sailing, something about the America's Cup,
It's updating.
Michael Jordan cards because I watched a video on Barry Schwartz's channel, something that's related to a client, sports, an ad, and then about the Sixers. Not bad.
Mine's updating, so I'll tell you in 3 to 5 years. Next up in paid, Microsoft has their monthly article with a bunch of new updates for June, but there was some interesting things in here, so we're going to recap it real quick. They said the top story was that video and connected TV ads are now supported in Microsoft Advertising Editor. Interesting. I thought it was a little more juicy that Netflix inventory is now available for connected TV ads in a bunch of markets in Microsoft Ads.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So they said that you have to accept the Netflix inventory policy in your ad group settings to access this. And you also have to ensure that your video quality creative meets the requirements for Netflix. And then they also said that, please note, while accepting the terms and conditions gives you the chance to serve ads on Netflix, delivery is not guaranteed. And to track where your ads are being served, the website URL publisher report is available in the Microsoft Ads platform. So I don't have any campaigns, video campaigns in Microsoft, but I'm kind of reading that as you couldn't set up like a Netflix exclusive campaign. But maybe that's coming.
Yeah. Was there a minimum budget for connected TV?
It didn't say in here. We could look into it after, though. And then finally, you can create and customize banner assets for display with Copilot. So if that's what you're into, go crazy. What is happening in organic?
All right. And before we get into all the organic news of the week, this week's show is brought to you by Wix and Wix Studio. If you need something a little bit more customizable, say you're an agency, you need to build websites for your clients, and you really need it to look fully customized, Wix Studio is the answer for you. Wix Studio has tons of cool widgets that you can pop in and really spruce the site up a bunch. And my favorite thing is they've got a lot of different AI tools now. You can build out your entire desktop layout for what you want it to look like in Wix Studio, and then have AI generate its own responsive design. Really cool stuff. There's also AI code assistance in there. If you're trying to say, oh, I need to filter products by price or something like that, you can have AI do some of that heavy lifting for you. You can create images using AI right from the editor, which is amazing. And you can enhance things in a click. You can update or upscale the resolution. You can auto enhance images, and you can remove backgrounds and things right within Wix Studio. And again, if you're looking for a platform, you're looking to build a website for a client that will last, that is completely customizable and has these amazing out-of-the-box features, there is no better answer than Wix Studio. It is the only answer. It's Wix Studio, right? And so I just love the fact that Wix has multiple different levels. They think of everything. And I mean, I was on TechCrunch today, and the next thing we're probably gonna hear about next month, they're making you build apps. They have a tool that you can now build apps with like AI. They are really working to push the limit, and Wix Studio gives you everything you need as an agency to help build custom, beautiful sites that are faster because you have all of these different integrations, and your clients are going to be happier. They're going to have this AI out of the box, and that's the goal. You want happy clients. Wix cares, from their SEO Learning Hub to their webinars to their multitude of shows trying to help people out. That's who you want to go with, and it's Wix.com, 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 Wix Studio. Thank you. All right, and this week we've got a lot of news. First up, the leaks that we talked about from Google were confirmed by Google, that those were in fact Google documentation. So there were some people saying, I don't know if this is right. As we talked about last week, everybody with a brain had kind of said, this does look correct, and it is correct. And
Are you surprised they confirmed it?
I am not, I guess, because by not making a statement, when all you do is make statements, like that's what Google does, is they just make nonsense statements about everything. By not making a statement for a few days, you kind of made a statement in my mind. So I think what they said actually made sense and was helpful to people. They said, we would caution against making inaccurate assumptions about search based on out of context, outdated, or incomplete information. We have shared extensive information about how search works and the type of factors that our systems weigh, while also working to protect the integrity of our results from manipulation. So the big thing here is they are saying, this is a document from us. Do not jump to crazy conclusions and go and have Mechanical Turks or Odesk or Upwork or whatever go start clicking through all your listings and all that. Like, yeah, nobody knows exactly how these things work, if there's even a weight to some of these things, or if they're just little identifiers out there. From Joe Youngblood at Youngblood Joe on Twitter. I just enjoyed this. He was looking at the annual Alphabet Google shareholder meeting, and you get to vote as a shareholder. And in the vote, the board recommendations showed up on there. So question 11 was an AI principles and board oversight proposal, stockholder proposal regarding AI principles and board oversight. Are you for, against, or abstain? And there was a little recommended by board on each one of these answers. And of course, you're like, recommended by the board against having an oversight, an AI oversight board.
Well, that's scary.
You're also, it says generative AI misinformation and disinformation risks report. The board recommends against that. Human rights assessment of AI-driven targeted ad policies. The board recommends against that. Online safety for children report. The board recommends against that.
No.
How do you put that in your... Can you just let people vote? Can we just vote? Okay, next up, found over on searchengineroundtable.com, there is new data from BrightEdge that is showing Google is showing its users far fewer AI overviews than it did when it first launched. So on launch, according to BrightEdge, Google went from showing AI overviews for 84% of queries to now showing for less than 15% of queries.
I think it was the right choice.
I agree, 100% agree.
It should have launched slower.
But to me, that's the thing too, is like if you want somebody to like a product, there's kind of like two things. You want the product to be good, which I don't think they ever considered. Like that, I don't think they considered that. And then two, like you want to be able to like figure out how to repeat use it and like actively find it. I can find an AI overview every now and then, but it's like if you're trying to get people to use this, don't you think you would show it more and be like, hey, here's AI overviews. This is everything we're talking about. When I search on Google, I will be able to find the AI overview there if it is as good as everybody says on Google. But they're only showing to under 15%. So I don't think it's as good as they think it is. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they even think it's good. I think they're lying. Nobody likes this. I put out a tweet from a developer here that while silly answers are funny, the real issue is how bad they are for the user experience. The query was in Azure AI Studio chatbot tutorial. In each one of these listings that showed up, there's like the beginner's guide to Azure AI Studio. And then underneath it, it says, this tutorial covers this. There's no link to it. It's just saying there's a tutorial with no link to it. Then there's another tutorial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tutorials. And each time the text is reading, this tutorial will help you do this. You cannot click on that.
It's really crazy.
That's
the whole point of Google. Like, give us some links.
It is the easiest solution in the world. And you would actually, if you're prioritizing, as Sundar Pichai said in the Verge interview, if you're prioritizing sending traffic to publishers, you'd say this tutorial, put a citation, will get you here. This tutorial, different citation, will get you there. But they don't care about that. And as a user, if I saw this, I would say, this is not only extremely unhelpful, now I have to go find something else, and I have to Google again, and I have to skip past AI overviews to actually get an answer, and I'm not going to use AI overviews again, or maybe I'll go to Perplexity or Bing or something like that. And then funny enough, the highest vertical with AI overviews was healthcare, because we've seen how good that works. Drink urine. All right, and from Search Engine Roundtable, Google is warning that sites that are inaccessible on mobile will no longer be indexed. There was somebody, a wild person, over on Search Engine Roundtable saying they have like an application, it's all B2B, and it's only for desktop, and how dare Google do this? Buddy, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can make a splash page and then send people off. People are on their phones. I don't have any issue with this. Like, buddy, I have 3 words for you. Wix.com, Wix.com, Wix.com.
You're just hurting yourself.
What do you like? It's easier than ever to set a site up. Just put a splash page up and help people. Like, again, you're being inaccessible, man.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. In another wild story, Cyrus Shepard, at Cyrus Shepard on Twitter, love him or hate him, had a post where he had a mini SEO case study where he's getting a site ranking in multiple Google AI overviews. I want to vomit when I hear this stuff. It's just a mini case study. People are going to take this and think that this is something good to do, and we're all doomed. Well, the SEOs are all doomed. We need a new name we just need bad SEOs and one that's talking about
Yeah.
links and how do we take the AI overview and put it in here. And we need good people. It's just content people.
Why do you want to optimize for this when there's no links or citations? Like, don't worry about it.
So there are the cards, right? And I think what everybody's is saying is like Google has this promising allure of cards potentially sending traffic. Again,
Potentially.
we have not seen the data, but that's what they say. So in this case study, Cyrus took something that he had ranking very well, just in the SERPs in general, and took what the AI overviews was talking about and tried to manipulate I think that's what I have, try to match the text of what the AI overview showed on his site. So he tried to make his site more like the AI overview, which again, this is an experiment and I'm all about experimentation, but if anybody else does this is the stupidest possible thing you could do. You should go to jail, right? And so what happened is he got into the AI overview and then he lost his featured snippet from that because he changed it and lost the featured snippet. And then I believe he also lost the AI overview card. So just don't do this. Write about the topic. If you're trying, if somebody has a question, make the most thorough, best answer that you can do. Don't just take a regurgitated little portion that was already taken from bigger pages. It was taken from bigger pages. Make the bigger pages. What are we doing here? Am I insane?
No.
No. Okay.
Not for that.
All right. And from Search Engine Roundtable, there are product search refinements that are being shown. This was spotted by Shaheem Adakroff, and the screenshot was posted on X. Somebody had searched for a welding machine, and the popular product showed up, and underneath it was portable welding and soldering tools, stick welding, MIG welding, and all those. So I hadn't
cool.
seen those before, but love it. Yeah, if you're going to expand upon it, perfect. This is what you should be doing, Google, making things helpful. Saying, you know what? I wanted a MIG welder. Okay, if you are one of those people that reports your competitors, you can now do so by either reporting them for expired domain abuse or site reputation abuse in the report spam tool.
People report competitors for expired domains.
If somebody's abusing it, and I don't know how you, that people, again, SEOs don't have a ton to do.
Yeah, get a life.
The good SEOs have a ton to do. The bad SEOs
No,
don't.
if you're reporting your competitors for, whatever. I'm not going to finish the sentence.
Yeah, my favorite way to report is just unsure. I'm just mad. I'm unsure is what I'm reporting. I don't know how they violated this, but I'm unsure.
They should have an option that says they're my competitor.
Yeah, I hate them. All right, and from Google, those spam reports do not lead to a direct action over violations. What can happen with the reports is that they can help to put it into these spam detection systems and say, oh, this one got missed, but they will not just go and say, oh, we were correct, that URL was wrong. They'll figure out ways to algorithmically combat it. So just because you go and you rat out your competitor doesn't mean that URL is immediately going to go away. Google is going to have to do some configuration to get that across the board. There was a tweet from Lily Ray from the AIO Ray update, Notoriety. And she had said that it was, I think, a picture about the wall and algorithm or something. And Lily said, there's zero chance my name is making it up on that wall, but maybe in a burn book. And they're talking about Google.
Do you know that reference?
Is it the Kara Swisher one?
No, it's from Mean Girls.
Oh, okay.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, I figure it's not good.
You need to watch Mean Girls. Everyone has seen Mean Girls.
Wait, I watched part of it. It was really good.
Which part?
I got up to the diet bars.
Oh, you didn't make it very
diet?
Caltine bars, yeah.
It was a good movie.
But you haven't seen the Burn Book? It's the pink book.
I think I have. I don't know.
My graduation cap looked like the Burn Book, and it said she doesn't even go here anymore.
That's good.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
So anyway, she's wondering if she's in a burn book, and Danny Sullivan, the search liaison of Google, said, I mean, I know you're joking, but seriously, no. That is in the sense that you or anyone who shares constructive feedback about our results should not feel like we'd be upset with them. You've been a leader in raising concerns. Others have too, and that's appreciated. Seriously.
I love these guys.
I know. I just have a question for like a friend.
Okay.
Is this a friend? What if you've had not so constructive feedback? Like maybe say about like Google Ads.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know. Some Google people are still inviting you to stuff.
That's true.
I think a lot of people are okay with you.
I don't know. I don't think they like me.
You also, what if you have, like, you just say AI overview suck? Like,
Oh, I did say that.
what do
didn't I?
they think of that?
Yeah, that wasn't that helpful. But I've been helpful the whole time. You just need citations in those
Yeah.
things. Come on. Anybody with a brain, with two neurons that can bump into each other will know that. And from Perplexity, in a wild move, they have launched Perplexity Pages. And with Perplexity Pages, you can transform research into visually stunning, comprehensive content. So you can take searches on Perplexity, get AI-driven results, and then turn them into AI in-depth articles, reports, or guides. So if you want to spin up some type of content, you can now do so and make a page over on Perplexity that I'd assume could then rank maybe only on Perplexity. I don't think Google's going to take that crap, but you can just come up with, spin up all these pages all you want over on Perplexity. Hate this.
Yeah, I don't love it.
No.
But are you still liking Perplexity?
I love Perplexity.
I bookmarked it to try to remind myself to use it more, and I don't.
What? Give me a Taylor Swift search over on Perplexity right now.
Okay.
What are we gonna? What's the query gonna be?
When is Taylor Swift the tour coming back to America?
Okay.
October and November 2024. Yep, Miami, Florida.
Tell me how good those little citations right there feel.
Oh, you can click right on it.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Wow.
Like, that is a feature of AI search. I
Yeah.
don't understand what Google is doing.
Do they have a mobile app?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it. That'll get me to use it.
Yeah, because you can just easily see the answer, and then there's a citation right next to it.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Why wouldn't you do that? Unless you wanted to keep traffic on Google.
Because you're Google and you're a monopoly and you can do whatever you want.
Great answer. I cannot rebut that. So, Nicole, what is happening in social?
First up in social, there was a Reuters report that TikTok is working on a clone of its recommendation algorithm for only US users that could result in a version of the app that operates independent of its Chinese parent company ByteDance. But TikTok has denied this report and says that it is not exploring any separation of its business elements. But we know that the US Senate voted to force TikTok to be sold to US ownership. So we'll have to watch out and see if there's any other reports in the future about this. Just of note. And from Power Listener Joe from our Discord, he found that you can now connect your Instagram account to auto-publish posts to Pinterest, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. Other features of this update is you can have attribution on your content. Claiming your Instagram account will give you attribution on pins that link to your Instagram.
That's cool.
You can also see metrics like impressions and reach for your repins that help you understand how content linked to your Instagram is performing on Pinterest. And then you can enable auto publishing, and Pinterest will automatically create the pins from your Instagram posts.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Everyone's teaming up.
Yeah.
Meta and Google,
Everyone's in cahoots.
Instagram and Pinterest. Yeah.
This
Season
makes
of
sense,
love.
though. Like,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have a good Pinterest strategy. Good.
Yeah.
Just put it out there. Who cares?
And YouTube is rolling out access to community posts more broadly. This builds on last year's update, which made posts available to all channels that were eligible for the advanced features. But this time, regardless of subscriber count, you have access to community posts. And more YouTube news. YouTube is revamping its research tab, changing the name to Inspiration in YouTube Studio Analytics to give you AI recommendations for new video ideas.
I would love. What are their ideas for us? Stop saying mean things about Neil Mohan.
There will be a breakout video section that highlights videos from similar channels that have performed well. And there's also going to be an AI tips element that will give creators the ability to enter a topic into a search bar and then prompt YouTube's AI system to give you ideas and notes based on what your channel viewers are likely to be interested in.
If you have trouble making content, this could be cool. But if you're trying to make the best stuff, like, you should not need this.
Yeah.
Like, that's where the human.
That's what makes YouTube so good, is that there's creators who like have these ideas on
original
their own.
thoughts.
Yeah.
that work differently. It's like all the it's like hot ones. It's never gonna be like, hey, go eat chicken wings with celebrities. It's
Yeah.
All right. And last small news piece for social, the head of Facebook, Tom Allison, had an announcement or a blog post, whatever you want to call it, named The Future of Facebook. And he said that Facebook is focusing on two things: building a young adult usership and new product capabilities using AI. So they've done a few things already to move towards this goal. Upgrading the Reels and feed ranking technologies to better deliver recommendations, updating their video player that brings together Reels, longer videos, and live content in full screen, which has already been released. They are making it easier for creators to earn money with professional mode, and they evolved their payout model to pay creators based on how well their content performs on Facebook. I mean, that all sounds great in theory, but I won't be coming back to Facebook anytime soon.
I needed an account to like find a roommate in college. It was like how it worked. It was
Did
an
you
app.
find a roommate?
Yeah, we're still friends.
Okay.
But I'm just saying they need to team up with the universities, go back to basics, get the college kids.
I think it's too late. I think that time has passed.
I've been deep into Facebook Reels of like weird life hacks like you like.
Really?
Yeah.
I found a new Instagram account. It is maybe your worst nightmare.
What is it called?
Rats?
It's a dog that kills rats.
Why?
Wouldn't that be good, though? You don't like rats.
Yeah, but I don't want to see it.
There's this one that's really terrible. I can show it to you. If you want.
No.
It's like some sort of terrier. It's this little dog, and it can jump all the way up into a garbage bin.
It's a little dog?
Yeah.
Wow.
So are the rats like bigger than the dog?
The rats are pretty big. Rats might be like 1/6 the size of the dog.
Maybe New York City needs that.
Yeah. Send him over here.
You need some rat fighting terriers. In the
I
city.
support him. I just don't want to see it.
Okay. Well, if you ever do, I
I
can show you.
really, it will ruin my day. Please don't send that to me.
All right. So, Nicole, try not to react to this.
The sound is on. You said you were going to turn it off. I don't want to hear it.
Okay, that's a bigger dog than I was expecting,
I don't want
though.
to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, he's getting all of the rats.
There's multiple?
Oh,
There's a lot of rats. I just,
That's so
as
disgusting.
an
I have to stretch my leg.
He's very good at his job.
Now it's time for this week's WTH.
Misguided.
I hated all of that.
Like, who does that?
Just get rid of it.
Where we rant, rave, and roll our eyes about a trending digital marketing topic.
What are we coming to?
Honestly.
See what had us asking
T.
this week.
This week's WTH comes from Ars Technica, and the Zoom CEO envisions AI deepfakes attending meetings in your place. Let's say the team is waiting for the CEO to make a decision or maybe some meaningful conversation. My digital twin really can represent me and also be part of the decision-making process, according to Zoom. What are your thoughts? Digital twins. AI twin of yourself.
He can be part of the decision-making process. You clearly don't think very highly of yourself or your position.
Yeah, I hope the decision isn't a big one. I mean, the CEO is making it, so it should be a big one.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. Like, if I can be like, hey, digital Greg, go there, and I can sit down, I'll take that.
Yeah, but then there's other meetings that you would definitely want to attend.
Yeah.
Is it really convincing?
What? I don't know, but like, what if you're like, you show up to the meeting like, oh, you got digital Greg. He doesn't care today. See,
Like you announce it?
I don't know. I don't know how it works. But that's the future. You have a digital twin.
Why don't you just turn your camera off? Like the rest of us.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
For me this week, I was setting up a video view YouTube campaign for the first time, and I thought it was really cool. You could add 5 videos that are similar to the video that you are promoting, and it's like a targeting method. Like they're going to find more people like that. So I thought that was a nice feature.
For me this week, it was working hard last week, not working hard this week, is HubSpot support. So I was so impressed last week. I had to actually pick up my cell phone and call a rep.
Disgusting.
I know.
Despicable.
It's really horifying.
God
I have
forbid
to
your
use the
desk phone. Do you have one?
I have a desk phone. It's only rang twice.
Mine's so dusty.
And the lady was super helpful. She seemed very competent. She said, okay, let me take this issue back to my team. Emails us this Monday and completely misunderstood. Said, there really isn't a problem. Misunderstood what we were asking about. And she hasn't gotten back to us yet. And I'm a little frustrated.
For me, I was trying to do a different flavor of a brand campaign, and within Google Ads, I was trying to use the restriction to a brand and just use broad terms to see how it worked. It didn't work. I also did have brand campaigns using the actual brand in phrase and exact.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, what if I can do this and just put in a restriction around said brand and put in very broad terms? Would it work? I could not get it to work.
So the ads won't run, like it's not spending?
It is not spending, but we also have like a very robust branded campaign. We're
Yeah.
just trying to add like an extra layer of efficiency in there.
Interesting.
No luck.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, there is a new blog post over on the Group 27 blog by Pauline Jacober, and it is called Google Advertisers, Have You Verified Your Account Correctly? And she talks about how she has a client who their domain through Google Ads was set up as .cam, not .com.
Oh, no.
I know. Can you imagine? So she's trying to give some tips to make sure that this doesn't happen to you. So she talks about how to verify your Google Ads account, how to see if your Google Ads account is verified, and also how to report fake ads if you need to. So this is, of course, not the most exciting topic, but I think it is really important. And this is just a nice resource to have and send to clients if you need to, I think. So definitely check it out over on the Group 27 blog.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Chester Yang over on the ppchero.com blog. And we just touched on this a little bit, but Chester touches on it more in his article, Who Needs YouTube? Netflix Ads, the video ads game changer. And Chester goes on to talk about the history of Microsoft and Netflix ads, Netflix in the news, what the ad formats are that Netflix offers, and basically how YouTube and Netflix compare, and then has some other metrics to consider like viewing habits, demographics, retention, and breaks down the pros and cons of both Netflix and YouTube. So if you're interested in what we talked about earlier, getting Netflix ads via Microsoft, you should check it out over on ppchero.com. Thank you, Chester.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. Greg, what will you be adding this week?
I haven't been listening to music. I was just looking at kids sports nonstop, but I have this on my list. Breaking News by Louis the Child.
Oh, how fitting. I have Peter by Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Luckily for you guys, there's 32 songs in the album. Just picking my way through. I've had a couple new ones interspersed.
Okay.
Nicole?
I will be adding Hot to Go by Shep.
Oh, wow. All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
We can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.
Welcome to this week's Shootin' the Heck. We're after our famous Friday news show. We don't talk about marketing anymore. We just
Shoot the heck.
Greg, what are we playing today?
Today, we're playing everybody's new favorite game. Would you rather?
I have a
Would
good
you
feeling
rather?
about this.
Isn't it called Travel Buddies?
No, this isn't Travel Buddies. This is just your opinions on what you would choose. It's getting to know you.
Okay.
And is there a right answer or a
No,
wrong
this is
answer?
just would you rather.
Okay.
There's no right answer, wrong answer. So, A, would you rather buy all used underwear or all used toothbrushes?
What?
Would you rather
Okay, you can wash the underwear, but that is despicable that you would
You
ask.
can wash a
them such
toothbrush.
No, you
No,
can't.
there's forever germs on there.
Yeah. And toothbrushes get like worn down.
You can use some lightly used toothbrushes.
No.
I'm going with underwear.
That is so, I don't want to be here. Why would you ask
That's your
me
choice?
such a thing?
Tables, what do you got? Are you going to use toothbrushes or use underwear?
Do you have the opportunity to see who used it beforehand?
No.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with underwear just because you could wash it.
I'm going to go with underwear as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather never use social media again or never watch another movie again?
I would rather never use social media again.
Wow. You're like an influencer.
No, I'm not.
You're a Taylor Swift mom influencer.
I also watch a lot of movies.
100% social media. I'll give it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Social media is gone. I don't need it.
Well, I have a company. Can I get rid of the company? Because I feel like I need it for our job and to like, employ people.
Yeah, sorry for answering wrong.
So I feel like I kind of need it. But if I
Yeah.
didn't have, I would have no social media, no anything. I would just live in the woods, like in a cabin, and watch movies.
Interesting career path for someone who feels that way.
Would you rather go back to kindergarten with everything that you know now in your life? Or would you rather now know everything that your future self will learn?
Oh, go back to kindergarten, boss those kids around,
Yeah.
be the smartest kid in the class.
What if you found that there was something tragic that could happen that you could stop in the future, though?
Well, I don't know that.
You're just dismissing that, though.
I feel like it's dangerous to rewrite the future, but I guess I could do that in kindergarten.
Right. I just put like a lot of money against the Bills and Super Bowls.
I think
blow.
I'd go back to kindergarten.
I think so, too.
Because the future could be like worse than the past. I don't know.
Yeah, what if you're like, oh, it's just a apocalypse.
Yeah.
OpenAI took over everything. And
Yeah.
we're just here, and robots are just using us for our blood all day long.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. Or then maybe you could stop it, though. Maybe you could stop the apocalypse.
I don't think I could.
What if you go back and try to stop AI overviews?
Yeah. Do you think you could?
There's no stopping those.
Do you
How
think
are
you
you going to
could?
stop those? They're inevitable.
Yeah, but, I was in kindergarten in like 1999, so
You could just make Google.
What if you
Exactly.
could be like take Neil Mohan's job and save dislikes?
Oh my God, if we could figure out how to stop dislike attacks, that'd be the best ever. Okay, last one here. Would you rather clean up somebody else's vomit or somebody else's blood?
Oh, blood. I hate vomit.
But doesn't vomit have those like wood chips? Makes it easy.
So are
You
going
just sweep
vomit?
it up.
Like
It
the
smells
cat litter,
terrible,
wood
though.
chips.
It smells terrible. Yeah, I feel like it's easier. Yeah, don't you just sweep it up?
It depends on what it looks like. Like some people's don't have the wood chip.
The wood chips aren't helping? The wood chips aren't going to help is what you're saying.
I mean, but there's still like gooey stuff.
How do
in the-
those wood chips work? And why don't we keep them in our homes?
I don't know.
I'll never forget the first time I saw that in school. Talk about going to kindergarten.
yeah.
Now I would know about the wood chips
They
from day
cleaned
one.
up- Those custodians knew what they were doing.
Yeah. I threw up on the very first day of kindergarten.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I got off the bus and threw up.
Why'd you throw up?
Must have been nervous. I don't get car sick.
Did you
So,
throw up at other times in school?
I don't remember. I don't think so. It was just that first day. That is really weird.
Okay. Tables, what about you? We got one blood, one puke.
So I actually have cleaned up other people's puke a handful of times because I used to work at a music venue here in Buffalo, and people would drink too much and puke. So
Did you have the wood chips?
yes, the wood. So the first time I was like, I'm not doing that. That's disgusting. And then the person who was training me is like, it's the easiest thing ever. These wood chips are amazing, and it literally cuts out 95% of whatever liquid. It like soaks it up, and then you just sweep it, and it was really easy.
Okay, question. Can't you use the wood chips for blood? What would happen?
I don't know. I mean,
Blood smooth.
And it's
Clip that. Good smooth.
Honestly, those wood chips are underrated. Like, what a modern marvel.
Use them for a lot of things.
Are they like toxic?
I don't know. I'm cleaning blood up though. I don't have a
Yeah.
problem with blood. I don't want something it's half digested in somebody's stomach and is lumpy and gross and stinks.
Blood's
blood,
predictable.
it's very predictable and it doesn't smell. It just smells like pennies.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have that than to have smell like somebody's old meatloaf and cod
Also,
sandwich.
blood stains. What if you had to get the stains out?
Goop.
Okay, all right, there it is. Would you rather? I think we learned a lot about each other today.
Yeah. And we'll see you next week.
You know what time it is. It's officially marketing o'clock.